Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase, worst team ever, and Bradley Walsh's brutal one-word verdict. The studio lights were bright. Tension hummed like static in the air. Bradley Walsh, with his signature grin and charming ease, welcomed viewers to another high-stakes episode of The Chase. On this particular night, however, no one, least of all the team, could have predicted how things would unravel so spectacularly. Ryan, Matt, Sanjita, and Joanna had made it through the individual rounds with moderate success. Between them, they'd stacked up a not-too-shabby £18,000. The four of them had survived the wit and wisdom of Sean Wallace, aka the Dark Destroyer, to reach the final chase as a full team, a rare feat, and one that usually spelled trouble for the chaser. Fans were buzzing. Full team in the final. One tweeted as the final round began, "This is gonna be juicy." But then came the collapse. 2 minutes, that's all they had. 2 minutes to build a wall tall enough to keep the Dark Destroyer at bay. But what followed was something even the most seasoned viewers couldn't quite believe. 8 correct answers. In 2 minutes, from a full team of 4. Bradley Walsh, usually the ever-cheerful host, looked visibly stunned as he glanced at the monitor, then back at the team. He blinked. 8? He repeated, as if his ears had betrayed him. 8? There was an awkward silence. Ryan let out a laugh, more out of disbelief than humor. "That was shocking," he admitted, rubbing the back of his neck. "I could have got at least 2 more." Matt just shook his head silently. Sanjita stared at the floor. Joanna, oddly chipper, giggled and said, "Can we get a do-over?" Bradley forced a sympathetic smile. "You'll watch it back and realize there were 4 or 5 there you absolutely knew. Sometimes the pressure just gets to you." Joanna nodded, still smiling. But the nation was not in a forgiving mood. As Sean took his position, he didn't even look rattled. The £18,000 might as well have already been in his pocket. What followed was a masterclass in focus and control. He barely stumbled. With over a minute to spare, he closed the gap. 12 questions total, with a 1-minute cushion. That was all it took. Game over. As the screen flashed red and the chase was declared lost, Bradley turned back to the contestants. His face was a mix of disbelief and professional composure. Then came the question. Standard protocol. "How are you feeling?" Ryan answered first. "Fuming. Genuinely. I knew that Shakespeare won. And I knew the astronaut won. How did I blank on that?" Sanjita mumbled something about the pressure. Joanna repeated her do-over wish with another laugh. But then Matt, who had been quiet the whole time, simply sighed. That was bad. Bradley nodded slowly. He looked at the monitor again, then back at the team. "Yeah," he said, drawing out the silence. Then came the verdict. "Brutal," he said at last. Just that one word. Heavy, honest. Social media exploded. Brutal, one user posted, tagging Bradley with a laughing crying emoji. Even he had to say it. That was painful. Others weren't as gentle. Worst team ever. Thick as a redwood trunk. One viewer raged. "I should have stayed asleep," another tweeted. "That was embarrassing." "I nodded off in the final half hour," someone else chimed in. 12 points. With 4 people. Come on. But perhaps the fiercest criticism came aimed directly at Joanna. Why does Joanna keep buzzing immediately and then passing? One viewer wrote, "There are 3 others there. Numpty behavior. She threw it away." 12. It was clear. The viewers weren't just disappointed. They were offended. Bradley, to his credit, ended the episode with his usual grace, thanking the team for playing, even if they'd just written themselves into the Chase's Hall of Infamy. As the credits rolled and the theme music played, Twitter continued its meltdown, gifs of head desks and face bombs circulating like wildfire. Backstage, Sean Wallace was reportedly asked how he found the round. He just shrugged and said, "Easy." In the grand legacy of the chase, some teams go down as legends, some as heroes. This one, they'll be remembered forever, for all the wrong reasons. And somewhere out there, Bradley's single word still echoes. Brutal. Want to add some cheeky fake tweets or reactions next?